Hello, guys. Today we will discuss what is philosophy, why philosophical studies matter. As you know, philosophy is one of the widely respected discipline in the world. Philosophy is derived from two Greek words, philo and sophia. Philo means love and sophia means wisdom. Thus, the etymological meaning of the word philosophy is love of wisdom. Love in this context is to be understood as a strong desire for knowledge or a particular object, whereas wisdom is the correct application of knowledge. Therefore, philosophy in this context could refer to a strong desire of human person to possess knowledge and apply it correctly. Philosophy has many branches. Some important branches of philosophy are metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, logic, aesthetics, and so on. All these branches are important in terms of uh, wide variety of areas of knowledge, and it opens different avenues of thought. So, philosophy is a very vast area of work where a lot of questions are asked and systematic and logical answers to these questions are sought. This makes philosophy a dynamic activity, as well as the expression of the deep inquisitiveness of the human mind, ever restless and full of curiosity. No doubt there are other manners and methods, for instance, science of satisfying curiosity, but philosophy is the earliest and oldest of them. So, philosophy has the merit of being coextensive with human culture and civilization. Philosophy began when the first human being asked a deep question, and it will continue to be as long as questions are asked. Hence, philosophy is the quest for knowledge. Philosophers in the past attempted to understand the world through the aid of reason alone, without appealing to any dogmatic, superstitious tradition or authority, not even religion or revelation. This appealing approach is itself a new, extraordinary, and one of the important milestones of human thought and development. And this philosophical activity keeps philosophizing at the highest pedestal. We know that philosophers from the beginning were encouraging people to think independently and use their reason. So they were the first teachers who make people think and allow them to develop their own body of knowledge. They urge them to discuss, debate, argue, and put forward their own ideas without necessarily agreeing with them. This intellectual engagement is revolutionary in terms of mental development, rational thinking, growth in knowledge and understanding. For that reason, we believe introducing philosophy to young minds or new generations is significant, because introducing philosophy and exploring new ways to increase the accessibility of philosophical teaching and learning would be a collaborative initiative towards building inclusive societies. We know progress in science and technology is all the time weighted. Progress in science and technology is necessary for a certain aspect of reality, but it is dangerous if our societies will be dominated by scientists and engineers only. In this sense, our societies lack a moral compass. So, without ethics, no other science can tell us whether something is right or wrong, moral or immoral, good or evil. It seems every domain of human life without a moral compass is dangerous. Thus, a society without philosophers, thinkers, is a dangerous society. Furthermore, it's believed that science and technology are not able to give a person an ethical position on any matter. This can only come from the discipline of philosophy. It shows a profound need for philosophy in contemporary times, not only because of its practical implication in the branch of ethics, but because of its profound significance in other branches as well. In this regard, philosophical platforms needs to be established and advanced courses in philosophy should be emphasized in teaching learning institutions. Not only for the individual's development, intellectual and moral development, but for the betterment of the society at large. It's believed that philosophy liberated the world from overloaded superstitions and dogmatic beliefs. As you know, in the Greek, it was a group of people who started thinking rationally, critically, and morally. So, philosophy begins from the Greek, and Greek represents the beginning of philosophy and development of human thought, with the urge for the search of truth and inquiry. Inquiry into the nature of things that arose in a rationalist movement. Philosophers from Socrates to Noam Chomsky are the best examples in the philosophical world, whose writings have shaped human thought and influenced literature throughout the world. The writings of great philosophers are studied in the world universities and teaching learning institutions. Thus, uh, the need of philosophy is felt, and there is no justification to isolate philosophical uh, activity, philosophy from day to day life of an individual. So there is no justification to isolate philosophy, because philosophy is something that cannot be avoided. It's a queen of all sciences. It should go side by side with all other disciplines. From a practical point of view, we have seen in our societies today, we observe that humanity is overwhelmed by encounters of violence, hatred, intolerance, and so on. It seems that in the absence of rational apprehension, ethics, and value education, such elements keep our society disturbed. The introduction of philosophy is important to engage our new generations with the thought process. The questioning examining activity. This is very important. The questioning examining activity will be helpful to counter our contemporary issues. We also need to pay attention to the questions of authentic and inauthentic modes of living and examine the wrongness of human actions and behaviors in every sphere of life. Even though we do need to train our students to ask all sorts of questions in different areas of knowledge, asking questions is one of the important tasks of philosophy. Arguably, another important task of philosophy is critical thinking, which is one of the important needs of our society. Critical thinking is one of the most valued ability to think critically that students must learn. The ability to think critically helps not only the students but also academicians and employers to solve problems and exercise effective decision making. In today's world, humanity seems polarized. Philosophy entails the truth and values which need to be propagated to humanity. This is needed to make people broad minded and expand their ability to have discussions and dialogues in this deeply polarized age. It's important to mention that today's philosophy is advanced philosophy. It's neither confined to abstract thinking nor cut paste of historical facts. Rather, it's a dynamic, rational, analytical, and critical engagement. In short, it is sailing with the mind of the learner towards broader intellectual horizons. Thank you.